Have you ever met someone, had a great conversation, smiled, shook hands, and just 10 seconds later realized you had already forgotten their name? It feels embarrassing. Sometimes you even pretend you remember, hoping nobody notices. But what if I told you that forgetting names doesn't automatically mean you have a bad memory? In fact, psychology suggests it can reveal something surprisingly interesting about the way your brain processes the world. So if you've ever struggled to remember names, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might stop blaming your memory altogether. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain isn't designed to remember everything equally. It's designed to remember what it believes is important. The moment someone introduces themselves, your brain is already busy analyzing dozens of other things at the same time. Their face, their voice, their facial expression, whether they seem friendly or threatening, how you should respond, what you should say next. The name becomes just one tiny piece of information competing against everything else. Psychologists call this selective attention. Your brain filters information constantly, deciding what deserves mental space and what can safely fade away. Unfortunately, names often lose that competition. Another fascinating reason is that names carry very little meaning on their own. Think about it. If someone tells you they're a doctor, your brain instantly connects that word with hospitals, education, patients, and hundreds of existing memories. But if someone simply says, "Hi, I'm Jason," the word Jason doesn't automatically connect to anything meaningful unless you already know another Jason. Our brains naturally remember meaningful information better than arbitrary labels. That's why you may remember someone's job, story, or unusual hobby while completely forgetting what they were called. Interestingly, people who are naturally curious sometimes forget names more often than expected. That sounds backwards, but here's why. Curious minds focus on ideas rather than labels. During conversations, they're usually thinking about what the other person is saying instead of mentally repeating their name. They're deeply engaged with the conversation itself. Ironically, paying close attention to someone's thoughts can make you pay less attention to the word that introduced them. Stress also plays a surprisingly powerful role. Imagine walking into a networking event. You're wondering how you look, whether people will like you, what you should say, whether you'll make a good impression. Your brain is already overloaded. When stress hormones rise, your working memory becomes less efficient. That means even if you hear the name perfectly, your brain may never properly store it. It's not that you weren't listening. Your mind simply had too much happening at once. There's another psychological pattern that's even more interesting. Many people who easily forget names are actually excellent at recognizing faces. That's because faces and names are processed differently inside the brain. Facial recognition relies heavily on visual memory. Names rely more on verbal memory. These are related but separate systems, so it's completely possible to recognize someone years later while having absolutely no idea what their name is. You've probably experienced that awkward moment yourself. You know exactly who they are. You remember where you met, maybe even what you talked about, but their name has completely disappeared. Here's something else worth considering. People who spend a lot of time thinking internally often struggle more with names. Highly reflective individuals constantly analyze conversations, emotions, future plans, and possibilities. Their mental attention is frequently turned inward. Because attention is limited, small details like names sometimes fail to receive enough focus to be stored. It isn't carelessness, it's simply how cognitive resources are being used. So does forgetting names mean you're unintelligent? Not at all. Memory isn't one single ability. Someone can have an incredible memory for stories, facts, music, faces, or problem solving while still forgetting names within minutes. Human memory is highly specialized. Strength in one area doesn't guarantee strength in another. The good news is that remembering names is a skill that can improve. The simplest psychological trick is to create meaning immediately. Repeat the person's name during the conversation. Connect it to something familiar, or visualize the name attached to a distinctive feature on their face. The stronger the mental connection, the easier your brain can retrieve it later. Memory isn't just about storing information, it's about creating connections. So the next time you forget someone's name, don't immediately assume your memory is failing. Your brain may simply be prioritizing emotions over labels, ideas over introductions, or meaningful experiences over random words. And maybe that's a reminder that the human mind isn't built to remember everything. It's built to remember what feels significant. The real question is, what has your brain been choosing to remember instead? And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more psychology, neuroscience, and self-improvement content designed to help you think more clearly, learn more effectively, and build a stronger, healthier mind. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.